Do I look happy? No, I'm not. Oh, because UFC 323 happens in how many hours? 6 hours? 7 hours? No, like half a day, 12 hours. And I don't care. I don't care for it. Why? Because the UFC is fumbling any and all promotion. They've lost it. They can't promote anymore. And I wanted to do something about it. I don't know. The UFC doesn't know how to promote, and it's awful. All right, so let's go over some examples. So first off, this is Counterpunch. This was when they did face to face with the main events. 11 years ago, 9 years ago, 9 years ago, 11 years ago. I just want to look at some. Look at this. 11 years ago, and I know it's 11 years ago, but 871,000 views. All right. I know it, and it's for Bisping Rockhold. I know Bisping was a trash talker, but come on. Bisping Rockhold is getting almost a million views on YouTube for a 10-minute segment. Look at this. UFC 300 Counterpunch, Cormier Jones 2. Of course, this was before Jones ruined it by popping for PEDs, the GOAT. But look at this. 1.1 million views. A face-to-face conversation. Joe Rogan in the middle. 9 years ago. Million views. Bam. 21 minutes. And you know how much that cost? Probably nothing. They probably paid DC Jones and Rogan, which are expensive people, but for 20 minutes of filming with nothing, look at this, blank background, nothing, no production, just them in a chair talking it out, 1.1 million views. Dillashaw Cruz, I know that was a big fight, 776,000 views 9 years ago. Them with Anik in between on, I think, Walgreens bar stools, just sitting and talking trash. 776,000 views 9 years ago. Alright? This was back when the UFC cared to promote fights, and they did this. You know, cool stuff. You saw the main event a week out before or something, and they talk trash, say what they're going to do to each other's face. Like they mean it. And they only did it 3 times. 3 big times. And it's sad. But guess what? They did it again recently. Oliveira Holloway, tense interview while previewing 308. 372,000 views a year ago, alright? Not that impressive. It was a awful Zoom call. You got some funny jokes. Who's Joe? This one, Ilya doing this. Some other stuff. But this was a Zoom call, and they got almost 500,000 views in a year, alright? With 2 massive stars, alright? The UFC does not care to promote. They don't know how to promote anymore. Let's look at the UFC Instagram. So, UFC 323, like I said, Merab Dvalishvili, Peter Yan 2, with a co-main of Alexander Pantoja, Joshua Van, is tomorrow. And these are their posts. 20k likes, 378 comments. 20k likes, 300 comments. This is the Oliveira Holloway 2 announcement. Let's see this. 420,000 likes. I know Merab is probably not the biggest star, but he's a really big star. Pantoja and Van, not really. But look, they got the same amount of likes and comments, basically. Look at this. 8,000 likes, 50 comments. Nino Drama, 14,000 likes, 200 comments. Merab video, 8,000 likes. Pantoja video, 8,000 likes, 23. See, look at that, 23,000 likes. Is that the most? Yeah, that's the most right now. These face off. A real face off. Van face off. Nunes, the biggest woman in the sport, probably. 10,000 likes. Moreno, what's his name? Tara, Ascora. Moreno Ascora, 20k likes. Diego Lopez, smile, dumb. Can you see that? Diego Lopez's face, 5k likes. And then you do Oliveira, Holloway, 124,000 likes barely. Lopez Volk 25. Oliveira, I mean, it's just, I can feel it dying off. Oh man, one of the biggest superstars, 78,000. 116,000 for this face-off, 23,000 for that face-off. I know it's, maybe that's just because people are protesting that fight made. So maybe that's it. I won't count that out. Nunes Harrison, 25,000 likes. Gaethje Pimlet, 62,000 likes. 62. 63. The upcoming events, Oliveira's speech, see 146,000 likes. That's a lot. It's just, I feel like, look at this. This is actually a really cool poster. I think that's fan made or something. That's 45,000 likes. That's quite a bit. Then you have just this one, 42,000 likes. Whatever that is. The build up to Fight Week, 58,000. You have an Pereira thing. Joshua Van, 22,000 likes. Pantoja highlight reel, 77,000 likes. The face off, 110. There we go. That's from Moreno Teira, Cejudo Talbot, and Yan Guskov, 140,000. That may be Yan calling Marab gay, is what that is. I don't know. I just feel like I have personally no hype for tomorrow. Like, I have hype, because Marab Yan 2 and Pantoja Van, and, Moreno. Honestly, I'm more hyped for McKinney Duncan, Dawson Torres, and Sadikov ZM, if I'm being honest, than most of the fights on the main event. But, I just don't know. It doesn't feel like a pay-per-view. Nothing about this feels like a pay-per-view, and it's because of the lack of promotion. I've seen nothing crazy. The UFC is coasting right now. They're in a coast. With this Paramount deal, you can tell they are okay to coast and not promote and not advance. When the UFC was thirsty and hungry and wanted to make money, when Dana White had a stake in the company, they were going crazy. Alright, look at this. The UFC, this is the UFC's channels. Here's some live streams. The ceremonial weigh-in got 171,000 views. The press conference for the next year got, for 2026, the first quarter of 2026 got barely 200,000 views. Weigh-in show is actually pretty good. But, it's hard to do it because it's so early in the morning. And it's on YouTube. It's 2 hours long. You don't have much time. But 171,000, This pre-fight press conference, 338,000 views. For nothing. They say nothing this whole press conference. A marathon of full fights, 200,000 views. More than the seasonal press conference. I just don't know. Then you have psychopaths waiting for the UFC BJJ4. There are psychopaths who will wait for anything. For waiting for the post-fight press conference, waiting for the free fight marathon tomorrow. That's a good idea. When they post free fights, that is a smart idea by them. Look at this. Where is it? Look at some of these views. The Embedded, 170,000. 263,000. 351, 338. There's some good numbers. 605,000. But the thing is, you see it slowly dwindles off. Can you see that? Move this a little bit further. Each embedded episode slowly dwindles off because they do the same thing over and over again. And then bam, you're left with episode 5, barely 200,000. And look, that's 8 minutes, 8 minutes, 8 minutes, 8 minutes, 8 minutes. There's no meat to it. I don't know. And then you have like full fight marathons with Van. All of Van's fight marathons, 409,000 views. Gaethje Pimlet full fight marathon, 775,000 views. See, these fight things where they just give away free fights are going to give a lot of money, or get a lot of views. But actual promotion for the fight, see, they probably do that and call it a day. They put the header as the pay-per-view for that week, for the fight night for that week. Call it a day. And it hurts. It hurts, really. I was thinking, listen to this. You got 200K on some of the biggest names for the press conference, right? You had Oliver Holloway, Volkanovski Lopez, Gaethje Pimlet, Harrison Nunez, O'Malley Adong, Lewis, and Costa. You had all of them. You still barely hit 200,000 views. Now, I can barely hit 12, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But what I would like, imagine this, dude. UFC 326 is over. Is it 326? Yeah. That's Holloway Oliveira. So that ends. And we have no idea what's next. At the very end of 326, the next day, maybe not next day, maybe Wednesday of that week, it's a bye week or something. They don't have a fight night or nothing. Boom, you do a press conference for 326 or 327, 328, and 329. And you walk out, you announce the fights on that. You don't announce it in the promo and spoil it. You announce it in that press conference. Everyone's watching and waiting to find out the press conference. Watching that press conference to find out the fights instead of Dana and his bald head in a room on his Nintendo. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that would add some hype. Everyone gathering around watching together. It's a big thing. You have what would be next? Chimaev and Mavov, the first fight for April, I think. February, March. Yeah, April. All right, first fight, UFC 327, Chimaev and Mavov, and they both walk in. And the people at the press conference kind of know, but they don't know too much. They just get ready, and they ask questions on the spot. And you have rapid fire questions, and it's a huge fight announcement. And then I just think that would be a lot better. That has a lot more suspense. It doesn't even have to be right before 326 is over. You can do it right after 325. You have like one pay-per-view in advance, and then you give out three more. I don't know. I think it would make waiting a lot more fun because you're gonna have a huge announcement where everyone's prepared and excited. And you do it on like I don't know, right before a pay-per-view too, so you're excited for that pay-per-view while also thinking about other pay-per-views, and it all adds up together. I don't know. I think something like that would really help a lot with this dying industry. Makachev, the biggest star, I'd say probably right now the biggest star ever, is getting 700,000 views, which is a lot for UFC. 800,000 views for the weigh-in, but it's still not crazy. It's still not crazy, dude. 800,000 views is like the best for a ceremonial weigh-in. That's 32 minutes. That's with your biggest star, Makachev. And who else was that card? Valentina Shevchenko and Jaewon Lee. They may not be big stars in like the broad scheme of things, but for women's MMA, those are the biggest stars. You're getting nothing out of that. I don't know. We need to do something different. Need to switch it up. I think the seasonal press conference, you have that every single quarter. You keep on announcing the cards like that, but instead of only figuring out one pay-per-view card, you figure out all three on that press conference. It's a surprise for everybody. All right. Also, because how long is this? Yeah, it's only 12, so I'm going to go a little bit into some other stuff, right? So, apparently, if you saw my other video about Telegram things, if you look at Pavel Durov, who I told you to watch out for, some of his replies, you have Adesanya, look, I'm in a gift. Appreciate you and Telegram guarding free speech. At Durov, when free speech falls, every other freedom dies with it. Okay. Chimaev, of course, we went over this, but look at this. There's a gift coming your way. I don't know. I just find it weird. Again, just a little update on that. We got someone else. Let's go. I just find it weird. Also, we have, so with the Delgado Yaval betting scandal thing coming to light and all that, we haven't seen Jason Herzog since Aspinall gone. Just pointing that out. We haven't seen Herzog since Aspinall gone. It's been 2 UFC events. No, only one. It's about to be 2 UFC events. So if we don't see him tomorrow, Herzog tomorrow at all, but apparently a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes. Jason Herzog, today Barry Mack was served. And Barry Mack responds with, Jason's entire suit is based on me reporting he fixed fights, and not what I actually reported, that the FBI is moving to audit many of his fights. That's a severe literacy problem in his country. In this country. Let's dance, buddy. You picked the wrong one. And he said it's a California lawsuit, and that, people are saying you reported 100 fights that had suspicious activity and lumped in Herzog in the same sentence of being investigated. He's saying being illiterate is not my problem. Basically, they're going back and forth. Harry Mack, no clue who this guy is just made a report and made in general buffoonery. real trustworthy. Fight biz and sometimes media when I feel like it, very trustworthy. But this is what he's talking about, you know. Uh, Update: federal regulators have flagged over 100 UFC fights this year for abnormal betting patterns. We're going to go over another one in a little bit, including 2 additional fighters on last fight's card. It's about to get very ugly. Still working to confirm, but it sounds like the feds are moving to audit Herzog's fights. All right. So this is what Herzog is suing him over. I'm guessing defamation of character. Probably something like that. That's the only thing I think he could get away with. But he's saying libel, uh, or something. I don't know. I forgot. But I don't know. This could be a little something. So I'd keep a watch on this. Herzog may maybe back soon, or he may be gone forever. You know what I'm saying? And the best thing about cheating is that it works. So you know. And he went on this huge Twitter rant, Herzog did, about respond to a bunch of people about this. And I don't know. He just doesn't seem the very innocent type, but maybe he is. Maybe he is. It's gambling time. Okay, dude. I'm gonna trust this guy. I'm gonna trust that guy. Okay. Okay. But yeah, also, uh, Terrence McKinney and Chris Duncan money line. Guess what? Talking about gambling. Chris Duncan's money line has gone from minus 190 earlier this week to minus 110 now. Tons of money coming in on Terrence McKinney. Unusually large move for a money line on weigh-in day. Wonder what's going on there. Okay. So now I'm very scared for my Duncan pick. Very, very scared. I'm gonna keep it. I'm also scared for my Macy Barber pick, but you know, we keep it. We ride, alright? We let it ride. But I am scared for it. But yeah, that's how long have we been going? 17? Man. That's sucky. But you know what? You just gotta accept it sometimes. But yeah. So overview, UFC promotion sucks. It used to be good. Then they gave up. Do the seasonal uh, do the seasonal press conference, but announce all 3 pay-per-views on there. You know, have it a mysterious thing. I mean, you can maybe like hint, like give some hints or something. Make it like fun. Make it fun and have a good build up to the seasonal. You can build up the seasonal press conference and then have it like a big reveal, and then the very next day is, you know, that week's pay-per-view, and then you have like a whole bunch of build up for that too. Or I don't know, a lot of people have eyes on the UFC just around that pay-per-view. Boom. UFC sucks at promotion. No likes, no things except for Oliveira Tapori, Holloway Oliveira, because that's the biggest fight ever. Pavel Durov has infiltrated Adesanya as well. He's about to get Chimaev probably tomorrow. What is this? I don't know. Song Yadong, O'Malley grabbed a Kobe mask as a throwback to the only stretch of his career when people liked him. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at this. I mean, I didn't mean to put this shit on. So Sean O'Malley wore a COVID mask to face off with Song Yadong, and his response is O'Malley grabbing the COVID mask is a throwback to the only stretch of his career when people liked him. Alright. Got him pretty good. That's actually pretty powerful. And then Harry Mack suing Jason Herzog for the betting scandal thing, and you know, maybe another fight could be in a betting scandal. But that's everything. So you know, it'll be fun to make some money by the numbers.